Welcome to the Cozy Con Corner. We're your hosts, Grace,
Dorothy,
and Bekah.
And guys, some big news. We have our podcast on YouTube now. Woo!
Yay!
This is when we all clap and everything. But yes, I spent all of last week getting that up and going. So now it's all on YouTube. If you guys want to listen on there, please go subscribe so we can get that follower count up and everything. But something else that my stepmom pointed out when she listened to the last week's episode. So when I was editing last week, I kind of cut out the whole part about panels.
that I said.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She was like, this is Dorothy talking. I can just cut it out. That's fine. Cuts out essential information.
No, that's
yeah,
not
I see how it is. Mm.
No, the reason. Okay, I have to get it down to 45 minutes because on the hosting site I use, I have a limited hours I can post each month, and I was already going over it, so I had to cut it down. And
I didn't realize. Cut than Dorothy.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It was an accident. I didn't even realize till she pointed it out.
You were just too good at explaining it.
It was I had to be removed. I had to be censored because it was too good.
Yeah.
It was way too good. I apologize, Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so why don't we explain what a panel is now? Because I accidentally deleted it last week. Dorothy, since you had such a great explanation, don't worry.
Yeah.
I won't delete it this time. Just
Will she?
I won't.
Will this make the cut?
It will make the cut. I promise.
Okay.
I cross my heart.
Okay. I don't trust you. Anyways, last episode we talked about anime conventions and what actually... Well, that's actually every episode. But we talked about what you actually do during an anime convention and what they actually are. Because you can hear us tell stories all day and not quite understand what you actually can do there. A big thing that you can do at conventions that a lot of people ignore, which is kind of sad, are panels. So panels are a type of event that's run by attendees. So, you know, someone like you and me can go onto the website of the convention and submit a panel for really whatever you want to do. It can be some type of activity that you can do, a contest. There's a lot of Q&A panels, discussion panels. People have like PowerPoint presentations and they'll describe things. And yeah, just it can really be anything, and it's run by attendees, and anyone can do it. That's the gist of what a panel is.
There are so many, like, how to be a cosplayer 101, how to style wig 101. There's anything you can think of. Like, me and Bekah, we went to, on Sunday of an anime con. This panel was called...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think Bekah knows now. We went to a panel that was called Anime Church.
We thought it was going to be like, come worship your waifus and husbandos or whatever. It was not.
Because that's also what they said in the description. It's like, oh, come, we'll talk about your waifus and all this stuff. We're like, we're in. Yeah. We show up and yeah, that was not the case.
Yeah, it was a very big letdown.
It was just actual church.
Yeah.
Went to actual church on Sunday at anime convention.
No.
It's what? No, it was not actual church was the worst part.
It was not that. It was like he photoshopped the word Jesus or God into anime logo opening, and it would just be in that style.
Yeah, and then he like took Avenger characters like Thor, and he's like, you see, this guy is a god right here. He's a Norse god. And this is Jesus Christ. See how they relate? Like...
Yeah.
It was something else, let me tell you. We stayed for 10 minutes because we were ready to worship Rem or Asuna or even Ochaku. Like, we were ready.
Hatsune Miku, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Did not.
We're going to get down on the floor and kneel and everything. Like, nope. I think everyone was waiting for that, and everyone left that panel.
We were all like waiting for it to get good, and then you just kept going with the Photoshop thing, and we were all like, okay, I think it's time to leave.
Yeah, that's something you kind of just have to weave through with panels because they are run by attendees. Of course, the convention itself chooses to approve or deny the panel, but I mean, they don't know. They don't know who you are, right? Applying the panel, so they don't know if it's going to be good or bad or how it'll actually be. So it can be very hit or miss. But that's cool, because sometimes you go to one and it's very empty and it ends up being a really, really good panel and you never expected it would have been. That's happened to me a few times.
I went to a lot of like wig styling and cosplay 101, and they were empty, but they were so good at explaining everything, and they were doing demos, and then you could try out also. It was so great. I learned a lot from them.
Yeah. You find gold there, like diamond in the roughs.
Yes. Also, guys, just so you know, this little opening that we talk about random stuff is called our character development, where we just talk about random stuff. We usually don't talk about the last episode, but since I made a mistake, we had to go on and brief about it. I also want to give a big thanks for last week for our first email again. I asked my friends and my family who re-listened to it. They're like, it was such a good email. It was so great. I can't wait for more emails coming. I'm like, same. It was so good. But thank you once again for the email. We truly, truly appreciate it. But now, going on to our facts at life. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm not going to give you any context, but my grandma the other day came out of her room, and this is what she said. Why do people keep taking pictures of people in caskets? Why are there so many photos of people in caskets that I have? No context. Just, pictures of dead people in caskets. No context.
At least she didn't ask you to put itch cream on her back again.
Oh yeah, I was on call today, and my grandma comes out with just her bra, and I'm on a video call, and luckily all my friends were doing something else and not looking at their computers, and she just comes in, she's like, Grace, I have such a bad itch, can you put this itch cream on the top of my back? Walks into the camera frame is the worst part, and I'm like, Grandma, no, get back, Grandma. It was so bad. Yeah, so apparently, with the whole casket thing, my grandma's been doing her genealogy, and she's been going through all of the family photos. And she comes to me and my brother, who are just hanging out, and she's like, guys, why do people take photos of people in caskets? I don't get it. And I was like, Grandma, you have a bunch of photos of people in caskets on your phone. Why do you ask me? Why are you asking me when you do it too? She's like, it's so like weird though.
One last photo.
Oh my God, no. One more selfie.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I have photos too of people in caskets from funerals. I mean, it's like one, like Bekah said, one last photo. It's one last photo.
I do not do that.
You don't?
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Okay, never mind. It's weird.
No
one else does this.
Being a thing.
I mean, I don't go to a lot of funerals, but still.
Neither do I. But the ones I went to, even at my grandma's funeral, my great grandma, my great grandma's.
Oh my God, what happened? The itch cream didn't work.
Yeah, we have pictures. I don't know, guys. Why don't we talk about our dreams at this point? Because it's awful, guys. It's awful.
There is only one way to go to cons now, and it's in your dreams.
Literally the only way. For the last 3 days, for me, I have not stopped dreaming about cons. Going to cons. It's so bad. Like, it's gotten to the point where I nap. I'll nap for an hour and I'll wake up and I'm like, no, I gotta go back to sleep. I'm in the middle of con. This can't happen. I need to go back. And so I'll sleep for another 4 hours to go back to my dream of being at a con.
Same.
But it's like last night, I had a dream about Katsucon with Bekah and Dorothy, and I was like, oh, this is great. I can't believe this is happening, but I was so disappointed because I had very bad cosplay and I was like, this is not me. This can't be me. It was like half nightmare, but it's great.
Oh.
It was great. I was at a con.
I recently dreamt I was at a con and I was trying to get into the hotel room, but my key was made out of insulation foam. I make a lot of props out of that stuff. It's really fragile. And because it's so fragile, you can't use it as a key, so I put it in the keyhole, and I couldn't turn it, because I was gonna break the key if I turned it. So it's like, I need to get into the hotel room so I can change my cosplay, but I couldn't.
I'm gonna break the key if I try.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know. And Bekah doesn't dream.
Yeah. I wonder what that's like.
Bekah can't even go to cons in her sleep. That's so sad.
Poor Bekah. Oh, also, I didn't talk about this on the last episode, but people have been messaging me on Instagram and just on our social medias we have about joining the Bekah fan club. Bekah, we have a thing going. Oh, wait, we can't tell Bekah. I'm sorry. Dorothy,
What are you doing?
we have a thing going.
You're ruining it.
Bekah, you're going to forget the last minute of what we talked about, okay? None of that happened. It was all an imagination.
Alright.
But yes, Dorothy, the Bekah fan club, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's a go.
Yeah, our fan club, yeah.
So this week, we're going to be talking about dance stories, raves, and balls and everything. And me and Bekah have a story, and then Dorothy has a story. Who wants to start out first, though?
I think Grace does.
Oh, Grace does. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
Grace is going to
Nice.
start out. Woo. Okay. It started at Anime Midwest.
Oh, yeah. It's a good con.
And I love Anime Midwest. I really do.
They give you free food.
Yeah! Free food and the Maid Cafe. This is the Maid Cafe con.
Mm-hmm.
Happened the same weekend. But the way Anime Midwest works, like we've said repeatedly, is they have a ball, they have a rave, they have a Maid Cafe, they do food, and we decided to go to the rave. I have never been to a rave before. And Bekah, have you ever been to a rave before going to that one?
No, Indiana doesn't do raves.
Oh yeah, isn't it illegal?
Yeah, they're not allowed.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, so Illinois, it's legal. I talked about it with Bekah and our other friend. We're like, we should go to a rave tonight. Like, but I'd never been to one. I always wanted to go. Let's go experience it. So we planned. We changed our clothes in the parking lot, mind you. So we stripped like
Yeah.
for getting to our rave clothes. That was an experience.
Why not go to the bathroom and change in a stall?
Because the parking lot was so far away.
Yeah, it's really far.
It's
like a 10-minute walk from the nearest bathroom. So.
And then we would have to go back to the car to drop off our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we just were not going to do that.
You see, I changed in a car once at a con, but that's because it was Ohio Con, so it was in the winter. It was in January, so it was super cold. So we weren't going to go all the way from the parking garage, like in the middle lot, back inside. But
yeah. At least when we changed, the parking lot was empty.
Yeah, no one was there, so.
Because everyone was at the con.
Yeah.
that's good.
But
I think
I
it's
full on
okay.
got down to my shorts and my bra because I was like, nope, I don't care. No one's looking anyways. Changed real quick into some shorts.
I think I also changed my shirt and my pants, so.
We all did. But we changed. We went back to the con, and we kind of just waited around till the rave, because the rave doesn't start till 10:30, and it goes on till 2 a.m. So we kind of just waited near the doors, and we met up with some other friends. But I brought a bunch of lights. I brought those glow sticks. It was great. I shared it with my friends. As it was getting closer to the time for the rave, literally the halls were jam-packed to get into the rave. We were one of the first in line because we were there for 2 hours already just chilling. So
Yeah.
we got in first. But it was jam-packed. Like, some of the rules they have is you can't bring any of your bags in. You have to leave them out. So a lot of people were just like running back to their hotel, or they're just leaving it right outside, which isn't safe. So we had one of our friends run back. Finally, the time comes. 10:30 hits. We get in. I am dressed in my Inko Rave outfit. So I had my welcome home sign also with me because I was allowed a prop. I was allowed to bring that in.
Yeah.
I was allowed to bring a sign in because people were bringing in inflatables. They were bringing in balls. Like, that was the things that were allowed, just not your bags. And so we immediately get in and we just start grooving. Me, Bekah, and our other friends that came along, we're just kind of in the back, just, we're vibing with the music. Well, then at this point, like there's hundreds of people are in there. How many people do you think was in there, Bekah?
maybe 200, maybe 3. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess like 300 to 400 because it was
a lot of people.
And the hall was so big. So I want to say like 1/3 was filled up, but it was getting jam packed in there. So we mostly stuck to the back.
Yeah.
Well,
there were a lot of people.
Yeah. So like the beat starts to drop and everything, and I'm getting real into it. So I start like getting down.
Grace does this thing that she likes to do at raves, which is create dance circles.
I don't mean to.
And it's not even, like, it's always. Every single rave I've been to with, you've created a dance circle around yourself.
That's our friend, Bekah. Yeah. That's our friend. Choose to be friends with her.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but like, there'll be like another person who's really good at dancing, and we'll just start dancing with each other, and we'll like switch back and forth showing off our moves, and then it just it expands. Yeah, so that happens, and like I'm in this dance circle for like 20 minutes, and our other friends they went out and they kind of chilled at the sidelines, and Bekah was there though. And so, like, at one point, I handed Bekah my sign and everything. I really got down. And, like, I got my sign back. And within that 20-minute period, I don't see Bekah anymore. Bekah's not there. And so, I'm like, oh my god, where is Bekah? Where is this 5'2" person that I lost? They were like, like it was so crowded. So I was like, oh my god, what if Bekah got kidnapped? What if Bekah got trampled? So I'm starting to freak out. Okay, I didn't start freaking out then. It was like 10 minutes later when I actually looked around. I couldn't find Bekah, but I was freaking out. So I left the dance circle and I go to our friends who are on the sidelines. And I'm like, hey, have you guys seen Bekah at all? Oh, he's like, oh yeah, I saw Bekah just a bit ago. They were in the crowd. I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. I wasn't quite worried at that point because I was just like, oh, Bekah should be fine. But after like 20 minutes of not seeing Bekah and Bekah not coming to find us, I started to worry. So for like the next half an hour to an hour, I'm like dancing through the crowds looking for Bekah with my welcome home sign. It's a big sign, so it's not hard to miss. I'm just like, Bekah! Bekah! And like dancing, and everyone's like cheering me on. I'm like, no, I lost my friend. Have you seen them? Like, at one point, I went into a group of cosplayers who were in My Hero Academia, and I was in Inca, and they're like, Mom, I'm getting down. I'm like, thank you. Have you seen my friend? And they're like, no, I haven't. They're like, do you want some lights? I'm like, okay. And like, as I went along, people kept on giving me lights also. So, and then I accidentally started a conga line as I was looking. I'm just screaming Bekah the whole time. Bekah, can you describe what you were doing this whole time? I was like freaking out and looking for you.
Yeah. So my side is, once Grace started the circle, our group split into two on accident, and I just didn't feel like crossing the circle and going in, getting all that attention. And so I just stayed on the one side. At one point, one of our friends was with me, and then they crossed over, so I was just alone. And I'm short, so I could not see over, like, all the other people around the circle. This random person that I was just standing next to was like, oh, can you not see? Because, like, I'm on my tiptoes because I'm really short. And she was like, I was like, yeah, I can't really see, and, like, my friend's in there, so I don't know what to do, and I don't want to walk all the way around. And she was like, oh, well, if you want, you can get on my back so you can see her. And I was like, all right. So I just hopped on her back at one point.
Bekah's getting on strangers' backs and getting piggyback rides. Yeah. Well, I'm freaking out. Bekah's like having a whole time of her life on the side.
And then, I stayed with this girl for the entire time. And, like, so at this rave, there was, like, they let, like, an inflatable, like, duck in there, like a pool floaty.
Yeah, one of the huge ones that you see.
Getting on it and then, like, crowd surfing. it was really dangerous.
It was so dangerous.
Ooh,
And
that's
like
okay.
eventually the people would fall off and just fall into the crowd. Yeah, so I stayed with this girl and her friends, and like she would like push me out of the way if people were like about to fall off with this rubber ducky. Yeah, so I just danced with her like the entire time. And since like Grace called me a few times trying to find me,
Yeah.
like I just didn't hear my phone or feel the vibration in my pockets until like 10 minutes later when I was like, oh shoot, I have to go, and just ran out of the crowd.
And then you ran right into us. You're like, oh, what's up, guys? I was like, Bekah, where have you been? She was like, oh, I was just on someone's back hanging out. I was in there. I'm like, how could you not see me? She's like, well, I wasn't looking that way.
And I'm short. A lot of the people are taller than me.
Yeah.
A lot of people are taller than me.
Becca just hitched a ride in the middle of the crowd. Hey, can I hop on?
Basically what happened. But also, the whole thing with the rubber ducky, going back to that, since so many people were doing that, I think the ambulance was called like 3 times that night because people got hurt.
Yeah.
Was this last Anime Midwest?
Yes.
The last one that happened?
Do you remember this?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember this?
I wasn't there at the rave, but I did hear about it.
It was
Yeah.
so crazy.
It was really dangerous. Look, like even in the moment, I was like, someone's gonna get hurt. like I remember talking to that random girl about it, and I was like, this is not safe. Like someone's gonna fall and crack their head open or dislocate a shoulder or something, just falling into the crowd.
When we walked out, I remember that was like when they first brought up the person who got hurt. The first person on a flatbed. That was the first one of the night. And then throughout the night, it just got progressively worse. I wonder if that's banned now at Anime Midwest.
Who knows? They didn't have one after that.
Yeah. I think it was also the con that provided... Was it the con that provided the floaty? I don't even know.
Oh, no.
I don't think so. I think someone just brought it in.
I don't even know. I don't know. That's so... I don't remember. I know they like threw out balls or something.
Yeah. I doubt they would throw out a pool floaty just because that's a liability for them if someone gets hurt.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I was in the hotel room touching up my makeup, and I know some people who I was rooming with had gone to the rave, and they finally came back, and I was like, oh, how was the rave? Did you guys have fun? And they were like, dude, there were ambulances. It was horrible. It was too much. Like, their faces, I remember their faces were traumatized. What happened? Now I know.
Yeah. Also, can we mention the Kyle wall at Anime Midwest? Because we're on this whole...
Oh, yeah!
The Kyle wall! Somebody punched a hole!
Yeah. A really big one, too. It's not like a small, like, little doorknob-sized hole. It was like side of the wall was gone.
To give you
in
some more like context with this, there is so many different hallways leading to the hotel and to the convention center that's attached to this hotel, and they're really long. And one of the main hallways that leads from the hotel to the convention center.
Well, it's more than that because it's like 2 convention centers. Because there's events in both the 2 buildings, and you have to take the hallways to get to each spot.
Yeah.
So to go from one side of the con to the other, you walk through these hallways.
You have to go, or you go.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah, this was a huge thing that happened because it was the whole thing about the con that everyone heard about. It first started out as a small hole that someone punched. Okay, but as the weekend progressed, it became I want to say like a 3-foot hole. Huge. It covered half the wall because people kept on touching it and poking it. One of the reasons why it was named Kyle is because someone wrote Kyle.
They wrote Kyle please in marker on it.
Yeah. On the wall.
Like big on the hole on the wall.
And then there was people were making tributes to it, like putting stuff in the wall. I think there was like a pair of panties at one point. It was crazy.
It was a lot of stuff. People were talking about their Kyle religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, we gotta get a panel together next year to celebrate Kyle and the whole. But then other people were all mad because they worried that the venue wouldn't let
Midwest.
Anime Midwest.
Anime Midwest come back if they cause destruction to the venue. So
Yeah.
it was a whole thing.
Do you know what happened with that? Were you the one that told me that happened?
The hole in the wall? Did you not see it yourself?
I mean, no, I saw it, but no, so
Yeah.
I talked about it. So it was either you or someone else that actually told me what happened.
Like how it happened?
Yeah. Like how it
I don't
happened.
know how it happened.
Okay, so it
It just
wasn't.
appeared.
So, okay, so I was gonna have you tell it if it was you. But from what I got, what happened was one of the nights, a bunch of people got drunk, and there was someone in Vegeta cosplay, if I remember correctly, and they were stumbling across, and they were just going off and going off. Well, him and his other friend was messing around, and his other friend got really mad and punched the wall as they were walking, and that's how it happened. And then they tried to cover it up with a piece of paper. Their friend group.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I heard about the piece of paper on top.
Yeah, they tried to cover it up.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
This is the story. There was so much, guys. The hole was so much.
It every day it was something new about this hole in the wall. It was the big thing at Anime Midwest 2019.
Did it appear in the evening on Saturday or Sunday morning? Because it wasn't there on Friday.
Wasn't there Friday night?
No.
Oh, then it must have been Saturday, because I just know it progressively got worse.
Yeah. It changed a lot from the last time I saw the hole, because I saw other pictures of it on Facebook and things had changed. I saw at probably the last time at noon on Sunday, and I didn't go through that hallway again. And I saw pictures later, and there were so many more things added to it, and the hole was bigger. And
Yeah.
so it was progressing quickly. It was fast.
I like how that's what 2019 Anime Midwest was known for. The Kyle wall, and then
Dangerous rave.
It was a good con, okay?
it was a great con. It was a great con. But that's
Solid.
stuff that will live on. What was the con that had all the fire alarms pulled?
Mini cons. It happened at ColossCon once.
There was one con that it happened 3 or 4 times. Was it YomaCon, I think? I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember. It's not a con I've been to, though. But I do know.
Yeah,
what you're
it's not a
talking
con I've been to. Vendors were talking about it nonstop because they were getting
was
so pissed
constant.
off because they had to leave. Because they all had to leave the hall and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
That happened twice. And it was
So
big on
annoying.
Instagram. People were talking about it. I don't remember what con that was.
I don't know, but at ColossalCon one time, the fire alarm was pulled at one point while I was in the middle of a Steven Universe sing-along panel. So the people in the panel literally were pressing, going through all the songs in the show, and then the entire crowd of people sang. Because we all knew it. There was no person leading, none of that. We all karaoke'd it together from the audience. It was awesome. But then the fire alarm was pulled, so they had to stop the music, and we all went outside. And then as we were all outside in a crowd, someone was like, let's keep it going. And then we kept singing the Steven Universe songs outside, and someone was playing the music on their phone. That's great. And then it got pulled again.
That's great.
Yeah, we went back inside and then started singing again, and then the fire alarm got pulled again, and we had to go back outside, and then our spirits were drained. But yeah.
Did it rain
Yeah, that's frustrating.
that year?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, it did rain that weekend, but it didn't rain while we were outside.
Okay. I mean, I think at CAD, someone turned off the lights in the hall at one point, in the vendor's hall. They were messing around with the switches. I was watching this happen. I watched this kid was playing around with it. I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm like, it's not my business. I ain't gonna say stuff. And the promoter were so mad. I was like, I'm not gonna rat out this kid though. They were only 10. I felt so bad because the kid's like, oh no, what do I do? And they just ran.
You wouldn't just flip the switch back?
I don't know. You cannot. So with
It's
in the
with
hotel,
the keys. Yeah.
no.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
not
that's
even the
how I-
keys. No, it's electronic. It's like a board. It's a screen.
Oh,
you can
the straight up.
like a touch screen to control the lights. I don't know.
Oh,
I think I'm trying to remember why. I don't know why it was
I
unlocked.
thought I understood. I do not.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
same.
it's an actual touch screen that controlled the lights in the hotel. And I think the reason why it was unlocked because they had to turn it off at night and turn it back on, but they forgot to lock it up afterwards because it's supposed to be locked. It was unlocked, and so kid.
Did
messed around
everybody
with it.
scream when the lights turned off?
No, everyone just kind of went on with their business. They got out their
that's
flat.
good.
It was so casual because everyone just got out their phone flashlights and were like, "Oh well, here's this. Oh look at this product," and everyone walked around with their flashlights on. for a good 10 minutes. It's great.
There wasn't mass theft.
I hope not.
So many people thought I was trying to steal from them. I was not, as a child, going to conventions because I was a child, right? So I started just walking with my hands behind my back or my hands up when I walked through the vendor's hall. So they knew I wasn't trying to steal anything. Like, my hands are right here, or they're like behind my back, completely out of the way. There's nothing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there would be some not panels, vendors booths or artist booths where they'd put signs up and say to me, oh, you can touch things, you can touch this, you can feel this. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not taking a risk. I'm gonna touch it for a second and you're gonna slap my hand thinking I'm trying to take it. I will not be fooled. I would not. That happened a lot. People would say to me, oh, you can touch it. No.
Yeah, but that was Anime Midwest. There's so much I'm sure we're going to talk about this more in the future. But that was some big things that happened. So Dorothy now has a little story for us if you want to tell.
Oh, I do. It's not that good of a story. Anyways, so there I was. Youmacon. They had a ball, right? But it was a charity ball, so you had to pay to get in. I honestly don't remember what the charity was, but I was like, oh, I like dances. That's fun. Formal events, right? And supporting charities.
I was like, you aren't there to support the charity?
Yeah, whatever the charity was. I don't remember, but yeah. Yeah, so I went into this charity ball. It was very small. There was hardly anyone there, which I guess I should have expected since you have to pay to get in, but I guess I was just hoping. But I didn't go with anyone else. I just went by myself, because that's how I usually do it at events. I just go and meet people. You know, if you go alone, that sometimes is a better way, at least for me, to really force myself to branch out and talk to people and make new friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was awkward because it was empty. But then I felt obligated to stay because I just paid money to come here. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I was in my hero cosplay, so obviously I just gravitated to whoever was cosplaying the same fandom as me. So I saw a Todoroki and Froppy cosplayer, and I sat with them, and I was like, oh, hey guys, mind if I hang with you? And they were so cool. They were like, oh, yeah, for sure. And then the Todoroki pulled out a flask and said, hey, do you want a swig? Said, no thank you, Todoroki.
I do not want a swig.
Yeah.
I may be sad, but I'm not that upset. God.
I was just feeling a little awkward. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, so then a little bit more time passed. I half talked to these people. They were friendly. They had really good makeup. Both of them. They were both wearing makeup. They look good. Anyways, this random person walks up to us at some point. He wasn't in cosplay, but he was dressed up really nicely. And he asked the Froppy, hey, do you want to dance? And the Froppy cosplayer said, oh, no, thank you. And the guy looked all sad and he was like, oh, okay. And because I am a saint, I sat up. Like, I sat up straight and said, I'll dance with you. Oh, okay. So I get up and walk out with him at the dance floor and dance with him for a few minutes. And it was awkward, but
you still
that was my charity
with him.
work. It's a charity ball. That was my charity work.
Yeah.
I would, if someone comes up to you to ask to dance, say yes. I mean, I get it if it's like, if you're
very uncomfortable or there's some, like, the guy seems creepy or something, but it takes a lot to ask someone to dance. Like, because I ask people to dance at dances, right? I go up to people, hey, do you want to dance? It takes a lot. Like, you have to, so whenever people deny you and say, oh no, it hurts. It's you're rejected.
And then you don't want to ever do it again.
Then you don't want to do it again. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a friend. It doesn't mean they're flirting with you if someone asks you to dance at a place. It's a great way to make friends, to just dance with people. And it's just fun to dance.
Yeah.
Why are you going to a dance if you're not going to dance with people? Like,
yeah, why did you come if you were gonna dance?
You're just gonna stand at the sidelines and look? Which I do. Which a lot of people do, actually.
Yeah, but just, like, have fun. And if someone asks you, go for it. Like, even if you don't know how, nobody ever knows how to dance. Just say yes and just have fun, right? It doesn't have to be this big thing.
Yeah. There's this guy at Anime Midwest every year that I've danced with. I mean, I've only gone a few years. But I always, like, try to go either to the... I think I've talked about this. I try to go to the panel that they have for dancing to get prepared for the ball, or I go to the ball. there's this guy that always asks to dance with me, and we always catch up. I was like, oh, how you doing? How's it going? I don't dance. He's a professional dancer, though, so he'll guide me along. I'm like, this is so nice. I don't have to do nothing. But, like, I would never deny him, because he's so nice. And I felt honored that he asked to dance. I was like, oh, yes, I will dance. I practice, but I can't put it into the works. But, I'll still go for it.
This one ball I went to, I told my friend, like I told you, I usually go to these types of events alone, because a lot of my friends don't want to go anyway, so I just, like I said, it's a good way to force yourself to socialize, right? Like, I have to ask someone to dance, otherwise I'm going to be standing here, right?
Yeah.
It's a good way to get yourself to do it. But my friend didn't really want to go, but she was like, well, if you're going, I'll go. So she came later. But I went in and I was dancing with people and socializing, and she randomly came in later in the time and just stood off all the way to the back, off to the side, hidden away from people. And then at one point, somebody walked over to her and asked her to dance, and she just, she said no. Like, a couple people apparently asked her to dance, because she was just sitting there looking awkward, and uncomfortable.
Sad.
Because she was sitting there completely alone, just
Why
watching
did you
everyone.
honk?
Yeah, like, she could have done something else. I didn't make her.
There are other things to do at anime conventions if you don't want to be dancing.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere else.
Also, if you look sad in a corner, people are going to come up to you to ask if you're okay.
Yeah. Okay, also, I have to add, the guy, one of the guys that asked her to dance was smoking hot. Oh my god.
It's like, how could you deny that?
Seriously, how could you? What are you doing?
It's like yes in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh. I was so mad. I saw him later. I didn't know at the time, of course, because I was off. I was actually enjoying the ball, right? But afterwards, we were walking around, and she was like, oh yeah, that's the guy that asked me to dance. That's one of them. I was like, excuse me?
And you had that? You said no?
That hunk of a man asked you to dance, and you denied him?
You had the audacity to say no?
Yeah. What? This story actually goes one step further. Because later at the convention, I made friends with just a random group of people. And they heard my conversation with my friend whenever I was talking to her. Because I said that to her. I was like, how could you say no to him? He was so hot. And I told them about this. I told them this story. And they said, we heard you say that in the hallway. We heard you say that.
So did that man also, do you think the man heard you say that too when he walked past?
No,
okay.
We were further enough from the guy, but
oh, thank God.
There are other people around. I mean, it's a convention. It's always full of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, just imagine the guy hearing you say that.
Who cares if he hears me say that? He is hot. He should know. Flaunt it. Don't be shy.
Also, going to conventions just gives you, that extra drop of confidence, or it's like, I'm never gonna see these people. I
yes.
yell about how hot this man is, and
I'll say it to his
never
face.
gonna see him again.
Hey, good looking. Okay, probably won't do that, but
how you doing?
Get bold.
Yeah. I don't know, do you guys ever have regular conversations with people, and then you think, if I was at a con, I would be so much more confident asking questions. I would be talking about this and that, and I would want to actually be friends with them in that moment. And then you're outside, and you meet in a store, and you're like, I can't talk to you. I can't do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time. Legit all the time, I think that. I just want to talk
miss
to people
that feeling.
around me. But it's weird if
Yeah.
you do it randomly. And
Where the con gave you an excuse, because you could talk about their cosplay, you could talk about the fandoms, and you know what they like because they're wearing what they're like. They're wearing anime merchandise. They're wearing their favorite character. Or even at Comic-Cons, they're wearing their favorite character. They'll talk about the comic with you. They'll talk about the TV show. It's so much easier to start a conversation and then continue that conversation with someone.
Yeah, I had a 10-minute conversation with someone about D&D at a convention, and I didn't even start the conversation. He just walked up to me, a random stranger, and was like, hey, do you play D&D? And I was like, yeah, I do. And we just talked for 10 minutes. And then we both walked away, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that just happens all the time at conventions.
Yeah, that's literally how we met.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We just, you walked up to me and we started talking, and now we're besties. Like, what?
I yelled at, let's be precise. I yelled from a balcony, and then we started talking.
But, I mean, it was just random, right? Like, in the normal world, right, outside of a con, if you guys just shouted out to me and then walked over to me and started talking to me, that wouldn't be... That'd be weird.
It'd be a whole other case.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to be at Target before when I've been in cosplay. And then they started asking if the con was happening that week, and I was like, no, there's no cons.
Like, just going to Target and cosplay.
Yeah. I was too lazy. I was too lazy to get out of it. I had to go get some dog food or something. I wasn't gonna change because I still had stuff to film. I was like, nope.
The only thing I'm guilty of is leaving the house with my cosplay makeup on, so I might just have purple eyebrows. It's very big black eyebrows on my face. I'll take the wig off, though. I won't go out with the wig on.
Oh, it's so much fun, though. Because then, like, you meet those random people, then you have that 1 minute of people recognizing your character and being like, I love it. But then you get the people who don't like it. But then I just ignore them. I'm like, I still had one person who liked it. Also, big congratulations to Dorothy to getting 1 million followers on TikTok.
Yay!
She works so hard for this. Like, she posts every day. Oh my gosh, and her content's so funny. If you guys aren't already following Dorothy, Air of Clouds. Spell it with an H, though.
An H, yes. Not an A. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yes! We're so happy. I don't know, I took screenshots of, like, when you were at, 990,000, and then I got 998,000, and then it was already at night, so I couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, oh my gosh, so I stayed up, because I saw it get to, 999.8, and I was so excited, but I was showing my mom something on my phone. It was in the middle of the night. My mom was just up in the middle of the night because she got a water or something, and then I just played on my phone with her for a while. But yeah, I missed it. Like, I went back to my TikTok profile for a second, and then it was at 1 million. So I missed 999.9.
That's great.
Man.
Not gonna complain, but yeah.
I don't know, we always try to, like, whenever we reach a milestone, we always try to get the point before. Mm-hmm. Just so it's like, oh my god, look! Last minute! Look at this number! Watch it grow! It's so much fun. Mm-hmm. I know, I do that especially for all that friends.
With 1 million now, whenever I get more followers, other people won't know until I get another 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Like, I can see it, but other people can't.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great episode. We had some technical difficulties when we recorded this, so if the audio sounds a bit weird in between,
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Bekah! Just know there's disconnection issues. I will try to edit this as much as I can to make it not seem like that, but just know that there were some technical issues when we recorded it. But please do go follow us on all our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more stuff. I want to make animatics for this. That's my plan for March. But I got it all up on YouTube, so go follow us on YouTube, Cozy Con Corner. And that goes for all our social medias, it's Cozy Con Corner. And then email your stories in at cozyconcorner@gmail.com. We will read it out loud on the podcast. So please do that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Look forward to the next episode. Bye.
Bye.